One Zambia, One Nation, thank you so much for joining us on the news desk. This is Zanis News. My name is Amos Zulu. Let us take a look at the top stories. Reopening of schools extended. Low publicity on CDF by the media worries information peers. Hawanyuka residents praise government for road rehabilitation. And government donates maize to Nchwala traditional ceremony. And now the news in detail. Government has announced an extension of reopening of all schools in the country to January 29, 2024. Minister of Education Douglas Siakalima says schools will remain closed for a further 3 weeks after the official opening date of 8th January 2024 due to the increasing number of cholera cases. Speaking during a press briefing in Lusaka, Mr. Siakalima has explained that all schools from early childhood education to secondary level in both public and private will remain closed.
Cholera infection is often mild or without symptoms but can be severe. Approximately 1 in 10 people who get sick with cholera will develop severe symptoms such as watery diarrhea, vomiting, and leg cramps. In these victims, rapid loss of body fluids leads to dehydration and shock. With 2,023 cholera cases recorded in the country since October 2023, government has extended the opening of schools from early learning centers to secondary level for 3 more weeks to mitigate the spread of the disease.
The National Disaster Management and Mitigation Council of Ministers, at its meeting on Wednesday, the 3rd of January 2024, that is yesterday, decided that 1, all public, private, aided, and community learning institutions, that is from early childhood education centers, primary and secondary schools, remain closed for a further 3 weeks after the official opening date of 8th January 2024. This means that schools will only open on Monday, the 29th of January 2024. Further, the grace period which was earlier given to grade 8 and 10 learners has now been overtaken, and all learners are expected to open on 29th of January 2024. 2, and therefore, in order to catch up on the lost time, the first term holidays will only run for 1 week instead of 4 weeks, implying that schools will close for the term 1 on the 26th of April instead of 5th April 2024.
The minister has further explained the mitigation measures that schools have to follow to ensure that cholera is contained.
During the prolonged closure, all learning institutions should be thoroughly cleaned up, have clean water and sanitation facilities, adequate hand washing points, detergents and disinfectants, in addition to the provisions of the preventive guidelines already in schools. Learning institutions should maintain a high level of hygiene at both personal and institutional levels as guided by the Ministry of Health. In addition to the above, school inspections and sensitizations will be intensified at all levels in order to ensure compliance to the above guidelines.
Unachibende for Zanis in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Mliata has given a 1-week ultimatum to council authorities at markets to improve the hygiene situation or risk punitive action in view of the cholera situation. The minister issued the ultimatum when she toured New Soweto and Michael Chilufya-Sata markets. Details in this report.
This is the current state of New Soweto and Michael Chilufya-Sata markets in Lusaka. The designated trading places are dirty, posing a serious health challenge to the people who operate in the markets. The bad state of the drainages and the general trading environment is not helped by the fact that the rainy season seems to have currently reached its peak. Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Mliata is concerned with the hygiene situation in the markets in view of the cholera outbreak.
And if you are not going to keep this market clean, we are coming after you, we are watching. We are also under pressure by the people who put us in power. The people who gave us these seats, we want to save them, but it starts with ourselves and yourselves. We have to change our attitude. We have to change our attitude. Don't take things light, casually at
This is why the minister embarked on a tour of the trading facilities to appreciate the hygiene levels at the markets. The minister was not impressed with the state of the markets. The minister also took time to counsel traders about hygiene.
As my in Kale last, otherwise, Zaba Kumva Anima restaurant Yanwa. Ino time kulikolera. Ino time kulimatenda upsana psana. Simunga ikepo doti hapa. In Kale last as my Kale seso.
The new Soweto market manager asked government to intervene in the drainage situation at the market.
We can take you around the market is not dirty. That we've tried what we can as a council. And then while these are selling, it's never dirty. Every time they are done, they sell it from morning to 10 hours. 10 or 11 they are done.
It is up to us citizens to apply good hygiene practices in order to save lives and avoid the dreaded cholera disease. Mtalakani for Zanis News in Lusaka.
Local suppliers and contractors engaged in manufacturing of school desks under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, in Chinsali District of Mchinga Province have described CDF as a tool for job creation. A Chinsali-based supplier, Emon Mulenga, says he has created employment through the contract awarded to his company by the Chinsali Municipal Council to supply 80 desks under CDF. Details by Miriam Kumwenda.
Local suppliers and contractors engaged in the process of making school desks in Chinsali District of Mchinga Province have applauded government for trickling the resources down to the local level. Some suppliers and contractors engaged to do the works and supply desks to various learning institutions within the district says CDF has become a vehicle for creating employment to many.
Kwala ababalalia ababumfi baliako nabula ko bali aba kuteta mapulanga baliako nabula bali abakochera baliako about nangwa abumfi abali tuli mulombo kwa 16 abali yako rupia bonso achako benefit so ama desk ya pamwene yaba 80 so no kupapa amaro lishto apusha no kupusha ngota na pari 95%.
Very grateful to the president at least for trickling down this money. So at least everyone now is participating. At least everyone is doing one or two things. At the end of the day, is sharing the cake. We're given to make 125 desks, of which we are at 80%.
We are also engaging other youngsters that are able to, these that have just completed their schools. They are helping us. They are not just helping us, we are paying them at the end of the day.
Those engaged to manufacture desks in the last allocation of CDF in the district are optimistic of more money in their pockets this year following the increase of CDF.
CDF is doing well more to our local contractors. At least it is giving us something at the end of the day.
Money is able to circulate within the country, and the local people, which are the Zambians, are benefiting from the same. Apart from that, all of us that are working directly towards these things, this will have more money in our pocket, our lives will never be the same.
So tuliaba tutira pakalamba sana pakusha CDF kutikula kaidi mitima batwalirira pantu balisunga ko community.
Miriam Kumwenda reporting for Zanis in Chinsali.
Thank you, Miriam, for that report. In other news, Minister of Finance and National Planning, Stumbeko Msokotwane, says government will continue exercising credibility in the 2024 national budget implementation and strictly adhere to its borrowing plan. Speaking at a press briefing in Lusaka, Dr. Msokotwane says that government supports the concept of budget credibility and will continue to do so in the year 2024. He has pointed out that government borrowing has fallen from 14% of the gross domestic product GDP in 2023 to 5.2% of GDP in 2024 as allowed by Parliament, a reflection of a tangible measure of driving debt back to sustainability. He has explained that the delayed debt restructuring has no bearing on the 2024 national budget implementation, adding that even the slow rate of absorption of the Constituency Development Fund CDF by some constituencies across the country will not deter government as it will increase the CDF. Meanwhile, Secretary to the Treasury Felix Nkulukusa says engagements with bondholders and private creditors are ongoing. Mr. Nkulukusa also says interventions are being put in place to curb challenges such as tax evasion, and this includes the implementation of electronic invoicing and promotion of local manufacturing industry.
The 2024 budget was passed on the 15th of December last month, and we are now gearing ourselves for the implementation of that budget. Some of the key things to take note as we implement include the fact that, first of all, we will strictly adhere with one of the key tenets that this administration has driven since coming to office. That is the issue of the credibility of the budget. Credibility of the budget means when Parliament allocates money for various items, there was a tendency in the past for the actual disbursement of the money to be something else compared to what Parliament has approved. The second element that cuts across the budget is that of adhering to the borrowing plan. You recall that where we are seated today, we are still battling with the issues of how to resolve the unsustainable debt that was left behind. That unsustainable debt happened because, in a sense, the goalkeeping that the Minister of Finance is supposed to exercise, making sure that borrowing is controlled from one place, the Treasury. Unfortunately, that seemed to have broken down, and the result is what we have seen. We will call you later this month so that we provide a report on the economic performance of the year 2023.
We understand that there is smuggling, but smuggling is tax evasion. Tax evasion is an offense. And an offense, when such person who evades tax is found, they meet the consequences. How can we improve tax evasion? We are doing a lot of work in that area. And in the minister's budget speech, he announced some of the reforms that we are putting in tax administration to make sure that we meet the challenge of some of this tax evasion, including the electronic invoicing for VAT. And our colleagues at the Zambia Revenue Authority have been piloting the electronic invoicing and sensitizing to make sure that taxpayers come on board so that they cannot be able to evade tax.
And Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation Permanent Secretary Joe Kalusa says the 10 million euros donated by the German government in 2023 is being used in a number of projects, among them measuring water levels in the Zambezi River. Mr. Kalusa explains that the funds will also be used to construct the new water treatment plant in Kazungola District, whose works are progressing.
Water is an essential commodity that speeds up metabolic reactions in both humans and animal bodies. This is why government has placed the water sector as one of the top agenda by ensuring that the country has sufficient water. Last year, government, in collaboration with its partners, undertook a number of projects such as the construction and rehabilitation of 10 dams and also the drilling of 2,000 boreholes.
The government of Germany have been helping us in so many projects, including the 10 million euros which they pumped in through water resources. Part of the funds which were given to us was towards the measuring of water levels in Zambezi, Livingstone. So part of the money went towards that. And then from there we've got a new water treatment plant which we are doing in Kazungula. So part of that money is to ensure that water production and distribution is improved.
And this year, government will construct 28 dams across the country.
For this year, we have planned to do 28 more dams. So we'll be procuring the construction of 28 dams, which will be done this year through to next year, 2025.
Kanyama Township was one of the areas which had water challenges, but now the situation is different.
But even chitotonga zikomukuzwai tibe problem ya manzi masikwano olokobwera ti pressure kulibe at least ngala na manzi kupambana stienda kutapa tulokwa jolenge olotaenda kutaka Kanyama inaleka.
However, some residents want more boreholes and tap water to be installed in their area.
It's really a challenge. Someone to have a coin is when you can have water. Even if you have a coin, you get just one bucket.
Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
We have more news coming up after this break.
Kolela ichumanyi kolela hi musongo wa kuhitisha muntu una kwachikika musongo wa kolela ukukata musongo wa kuhitisha na kusanza muntu yeniwo wahitisha nga menji adine imenji alosu muyeji ukuma menji mu mujimba windi mulonga wa kushweza kuhitisha menji amavulu muyeji na twechukufwa muji ora 10 na jiyadi ne kutambula kukewa kwa kubula kulumbuluka injilanyi mwa kutambwila musongo wakapota munene ikolela kuna menji akubula kushewa ichumbu hela menji amajilu kuda yakukwata na makasa amajilo hela kukosa yenga na menji amajilu kuda yakubula kubutewa hana kuwila anjinji kuda infuta yichuta inabuli kuhembewa chubwahi kuda inakulandishewa kunsanyi kwa injilanyi yaukangeshela musongo wakapota munene kolela bwakati shenu menji enu akunwa hela shenu mu yichumbu ya chlorine wela enu kumakasa enu na mulola na kuwela nawa kumakasa hanyuma ya kuzacha chimbushu tati shenu yakuda heno kanda muyidi bai yakuda inakulandishewa kunsanyi kwa zatisheni chimbushu mpinji yejima bai kuzatisha nyingomu hela ipepa la yanjunju muna mwakunatila malabishi mwanene nenu antu anakudukwashila kuyimbushu hembeni chimbushu cha unyonji nawa china kubutewa insangu yino anaileteliyu kudi akamtayi waipatela.
Are you ready for Africa's biggest football showpiece? Starting January 13th, watch the 2023 Ivory Coast Africa Cup of Nations live on Topstar for only 180 kwacha antenna classic or dish smart monthly subscription. Watch live all the 52 matches from group stage to the final. Witness the tournament opener as the Elephants of Ivory Coast take on Guinea-Bissau on Saturday the 13th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Thereafter, on Monday the 15th, clash the defending champions Senegal as they entertain Gambia at 16 hours. Then later watch Cameroon square off Guinea at 19 hours, both on Sports Premium. Continue with the AFCON fever and chant Zambia Kuchalo when the mighty Chipolopolo boys clash with Congo DR on Wednesday the 17th at 22 hours live on Sports Premium. Remember to download the StarTimes own app now and enjoy AFCON on the go. Subscribe for only 180 kwacha now. Topstar, enjoy Africa's best football.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. This is Zanis News with me, Amos Zulu. Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana is concerned with the low levels of publicity on the Constituency Development Fund CDF projects by most media houses across the country. Mr. Kawana was speaking when he paid a courtesy call on Southern Province Permanent Secretary Namani Monze ahead of the stakeholders sensitization meeting on the Access to Information Law. Meanwhile, Southern Province Permanent Secretary Namani Monze says public relations officers in the councils have been directed to partner with Zanis as well as other private media institutions to ensure that there is increased publicity of CDF projects in the province. In other news, Lupososhi District Commissioner Simon Mwenya has expressed concern over the stalled 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF projects in the district. Mr. Mwenya says the local authority has done little to nothing in making sure that contractors complete the projects on time.
This is one of the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF projects in Lupososhi District that is yet to be completed. Lupososhi District Commissioner Simon Mwenya is concerned that this and many other CDF projects in the area have stalled.
The reason why these people, these officers from the local authority, the reason why they are failing to push for those contractors is because they have chewed something, maybe they have collected something from those contractors. Because this is the reason why. Because if at all a certain officer at a local authority, it didn't get anything from that contractor, definitely those officers can be on those contractors to ensure that the projects are completed in time. So appealing to the concerned department like the PS Technical Service in Lusaka and the local government, I think to also send the auditors to come and audit these people.
Mr. Mwenya also expressed concern over the utilization of the CDF vehicle by the local authority.
The principal officer in Lupososhi District, he has turned that vehicle to use as a bus to ferry people from Luingu to Lupososhi on a daily basis. This makes me a sad man because that vehicle is not working for the intended purpose.
And Lupososhi Town Council Secretary Robert Mlauzi had this to say about the issues.
Other contractors are delivering on time, and other contractors are delaying some of these projects. We are also not impressed with the pace at which the same project is being undertaken. So the tender committee will be sitting next week, maybe to consider whether to terminate that same project or to expand. Coming to the issue of the CDF vehicle, just like I've told you on Wednesday at the full council. So looking at how big that vehicle is, I think my officers approached me and said, no, this is a full council, you can use it even to carry some waters, refreshments, and other stuff.
Reporting for Zanis, Sylvia Zulu in Lupososhi District.
We move to the Copperbelt province, where Luanshya Mayor Charles Mlenga says the construction of H-Figure Road has reached 98% completion and is expected to be commissioned this month. Mr. Mlenga says once completed, the road will help in easing movements of goods and services in the district.
It is now at 98% complete after being in a dilapidated state for over 10 years. Luanshya District Mayor Charles Mlenga notes that the H-Figure Road has pavers and this space will be planted with flowers to add beauty to the Luanshya town.
The thing that is now remaining is to just put the covers on the drainage system. The drainage system have already been opened. We have done quite a number of works on them. So it's just the covers. In short, I can say we are at almost 98% done. So that's how far we have gone. I think this is a project that will add beauty to our CBD. You know, Rwansha for quite some time was neglected, whereas this road was not done for more than 11 to 15 years. It was in a pathetic condition. And some people around here were even planting bananas on this very road because of the way it was.
Meanwhile, the city mayor says the local authority is working hard to prevent cholera outbreak.
Working together with the public health team, we are being proactive. So we are going around the CBD every morning to collect the waste. Because we don't want to be hit by cholera again. It is not only the CBD, we're also going through the markets. So we have a program where we are tackling all the markets and ensure that we collect all the waste that is there. That's what we are doing. You have seen this truck. You know, some time back people were saying, no, the truck has been packed, the truck is not working, the fake truck. But this truck is okay, and it is working, and it is servicing the people from Rwansha. It is working. So contrary from what the social media platform are saying.
The council has also called on members of the public to be proactive in waste management.
People think it's the duty of the council to sort out their wastes. You understand? Yes, it's the duty of the local authority to ensure that the district is clean, but as citizens also we've got a role to play. We need to be very proactive in terms of waste management issues. We need to subscribe to the franchise companies that are operating in the zones. We need to subscribe to the council if we're operating in the CBD. If we're also operating in the markets, we need to ensure that waste is also dumped in the right places at the right time. Not a situation where we see people dumping waste at 01, 02 in places that are not designated as dump sites.
Lupi District has more ongoing road construction projects that will attract more development activities in the area. Mary Chola for Zanis in Lupi District on the Copperbelt province.
One of the stories making headlines in our news, residents of Habanyuka area in Pemba District have expressed gratitude to government for the Enhanced Constituency Development Fund CDF that has made it possible to improve the road network in the area. Government, through the CDF, has completed the rehabilitation of Habanyuka Road, which remained deplorable for a long time, making the transportation of farming inputs and access to health services a challenge. Lilongwe District Council Chairperson Lawrence Shava has called on motorists and other road users in the area to adhere to road regulations to help reduce accidents. Mr. Shava was reacting to an incident in which an 18-year-old motorbike rider of Indeco compound died in an accident in Lilongwe in the early hours of Wednesday, January 3rd, 2023.
An 18-year-old motorbike rider of Indigo compound in Lilongwe District has died after hitting a pothole at Lilongwe's Mnake area in the early hours of Wednesday, the 3rd of January 2023. Both Lilongwe District Council Chairperson Lawrence Shava and the uncle to the deceased, Keith Tembo, described the incident as devastating.
Though we've waken up on a sad note, we've lost one of the motorbike riders here in Lilongwe, Boma, within the district itself, Lilongwe. Yeah, so this gentleman, his full names are Joseph Tembo, age 17 years, and the accident happened at around 0405 thereabout next to our Zesco plant, Munake area.
Huyu mwana inamalira Joseph Tembo. Chikulu maningi zintu dandaula. Mwana moyo waluzika. So chikulu maningi ero mwana nzi utandizako. So apatibe helpili yonse tinga chite. Sometimes government mukatitandizireko kuti sometimes tuone kuti zabi chitabwanji.
And Mr. Shava has called for sanity on the roads in the district.
Especially in Rwanda with these motorbikes, riders to ride the motorbikes. And this really poses a danger to even the pedestrians and themselves, including the motorists, because there's just too much carelessness where you find maybe this rider is riding the bike whilst drunk, is riding the bike without a license, is riding the bike maybe using a cell phone.
Luangwa District Acting Director of Health, Dr. Chisengo Kapihia, confirmed that the remains of the deceased is in Luangwa Boma Rural Health Center mortuary. Lista Ndumba, Luangwa District.
We take another break. We have more news still to come. Stay tuned.
Kanti kolera kibutuku manyim. Kolera kibutuku wakusululamu. Muti ya nani butuku wakolera utasulula ni kutazamu. Muti ya kula butuku wakolera usulula meza mfutasi na araisi aya kwa mutabanimu. Mukuliyo ukato kwa mezi mamubili wakingisa kufufulelwamu. Mukuliyo ukona kutimela mwahalalihola zeli shumi kazepeli haiva asafumanili kalafo zambuwamu. Mutu ukona kuyambula choni butuku wakoreramu. Kunwa mezi aska keniswa kapa kunwa mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho ni mazo atezi masila kapa kuitusali apiso zetapisizwe ni mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho zesika kwaelwa ni kuselezwa kwa linzinzimu. Kuchalicho zelobezi ilizeo alisikabukelezwa handemu. Kuchalicho zele kisiwa mama kululumu. Kuchalitolwana manicholo ni mulo zesika tapiswamu. Luko na chwani kuiselezwa kwa butuku wakoreramu. Kuvilisa mezi akunwa kapa kuvea mwateni chlorine. Mfutuma zeli choza mina pili musikali chakalemu. Mukwaele li choza mina kaufela kulisileleza kwa linzinzimu. Musike mwa chalicho za mama kululumu. Mwitu sekali mbalimba nako kaufela. Mi musike mwa itusa bikopo kapa mapepa amuyumba zemasilamu. Mubone kuli mutabani wala telwa mwakalimbalimbamu. Mubone kuli kalimbalimba kamina kakenile nako kaufela manicholo ni kukwaelwamu. Lingosale litakumina kuzwa kubalikolo la maketemu.
Great fun and maximum entertainment awaits you this January on Topstar. For a monthly subscription of 180 kwacha on Antenna Classic OD Smart. Brace yourselves for a roller coaster ride of daring revelations, laughter, and war moments as we premiere The First Lady in a Story of Wealth and Power Hunger starting January 10 on Novella E+, daily at 1950 hours. Extend your entertainment to the best of Bollywood on Z1 and action-packed blockbusters on ST Movies Plus and more in the comfort of your home. Ignite the little ones January by keeping up with the favorite Bluey for a good time and world-saving antiques on Bowie, Cartoon, Baby TV plus more. Download the Star Times own app now and enjoy content on the go. Subscribe 180 kwacha now. Topstar. Enjoy digital life.
Secretary to Cabinet Patrick Kanga has called on government institutions to treat strategic plans seriously as they promote efficiency, productivity, and economic development in the country. Mr. Kanga says a strategic plan is a blueprint that defines an institution's ultimate mandate, roadmap, and intended results for the future. He said this in a speech read on his behalf by Permanent Secretary for Special Duties at Cabinet Office, Chembo Mbula, during the launch of the Zambia Correctional Service Commission Strategic Plan 2023 to 2026. Mr. Kanga commended the Commission for aligning the strategic plan to the 8th National Development Plan, whose objective is to deliver development to all corners of the country. And Zambia Correctional Service Commission Chairperson Evaristo Kalonga said the 2023 to 2026 strategic plan aligns itself with the government's policy of actualizing the decentralization policy as a means to take development to all parts of the country.
As you are aware, an institutional strategic plan is one of the most vital documents that each and every institution must have, and institutions within our civil service are no exception to this. The Zambia Correctional Service Commission was brought into existence by the Service Commissions Act number 10 of 2016, which separated the Police and Prison Service Commission, and it established two independent commissions, being the Correctional Service Commission and the Police Service Commission. As standalone commissions, their mandates were specified to their respective service institutions. This 2023-2026 strategic plan for the Zambia Correctional Service Commission is premised on the 8th National Development Plan under the Good Governance Environment pillar. This pillar entails respect for human rights and freedoms, entrenching transparency and accountability, participation, strengthening the democratic process, enhancing access to justice, observance of the rule of law, and upholding national values and principles.
The general mandate given to the Commission is to safeguard the welfare of officers in the Zambia Correctional Service and ensure that human resource matters are addressed promptly and fairly. The 2023-2026 strategic plan aligns itself with the government's policy of actualizing decentralization as a means of taking development to all parts of the country, as well as the 8th National Development Plan under Pillar 4, which focuses on good governance environment. This alignment will help this Commission feed into the greater sustainable development of our beloved country by ensuring that officers in the correctional service are well taken care of.
Chief Kalasa Lukangaba of Mansa District has embarked on a tree planting exercise in his chiefdom to help mitigate effects of climate change. And Mansa Catholic Diocese Bishop Patrick Chisanga, who graced the tree planting exercise, has commended the traditional leader for leading the way and urged his subjects to emulate the gesture.
In the 2024 national budget, government will spend about 1.5 million kwacha towards environmental protection. The funds will be used to implement various programs and projects to protect the environment and build resilience against the effects of climate change. In appreciating government efforts in mitigating the impact of climate change, Chief Kalasa Lukangaba of the Ushi people in Mansa District has taken a step of planting trees in his chiefdom, of which Mansa Diocese Bishop Patrick Chisanga commended the efforts by the traditional leader.
Kwa hilo tulelimba iyi miti pali nonchende pakubalira po tulekuta ishina lya kwalesa umulimi mutanshi walimine bala lya Edeni tauli wapele no muntu insambu ne palo lya kulabaka no kusunga ichi chalo tuleta shaimfumukana besa batutungulwa muri uyu mulimo no kuluminisha okutila tusungilile ulwapula lwesu kupitila mukulimba imiti.
Meanwhile, Mansa District Commissioner Irene Chivweta has called for commitment from community members to individually plant trees.
Our chief here has demonstrated a best example. So it has to be every human being and every individual who's owning land or a farmland. Let's make sure that we do the afforestation. So it is now everyone's task to make sure that we get involved in tree planting.
Chipidi Makasa, Zanis, Mansa District, Luapula Province.
Chipili Makasa with that report. And in Eastern Province, government has donated 140 by 50 kilogram bags of maize towards the hosting of the 2024 Nchwala traditional ceremony of the Ngoni people of Eastern Province. Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole says that government is proud to be associated with traditional ceremonies as they contribute to national development. And organizing committee chairperson Joshua Jerry has appreciated the government's unwavering commitment towards promoting tradition and culture.
February is a hype of activities in Eastern Province as Ngonis from Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique gather in Chipata to celebrate the Nchwala traditional ceremony. Preparations for next month's celebrations are underway, and government has contributed 140 by 50 kilograms of maize towards the ceremony. The donation was announced by Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole.
140 by 50 kg francs of maize. It will go to the Nchwala traditional ceremony as we prepare. And the representatives for the Royal Highness Kosi Makosi, the Ngoni establishment are here. That's why I came with them. So that's a contribution on our part as government towards the traditional ceremony. Kindly do convey the message.
In the Ntwala Organizing Committee Chairperson, Joshua Jerry, thanks government for the gesture.
To all of us, we have already started the ceremony, because once food is available, all of us are going to at least, move with strength and do our ceremony with strength. It is the desire of Inkosi Amakos always to work with the government of the day, and that he cherishes the government of the day.
He also recognized existing partnerships between government and the traditional leadership.
On his behalf, as his subject and Chairman Jen, we say thank you to government, and he will also, through the PS, convey our gratitude and many thanks to the President of the Republic of Zambia.
In a related development, Mongu Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana says culture plays an important role in uniting the country. Mr. Muyumbana said this when he officiated at the end of yearly Kumbiliamize celebration held in Mongu District of Western Province. Details in this report.
Apart from celebrating the actual main Likumbiliamize ceremony held annually in the Northwestern Province, Likumbiliamize Organizing Committee in Western Province came together to celebrate the end-of-year party marking the beginning of 2024 Likumbiliamize preparations. Mangu Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana was the guest of honor.
Culture is very important. The president of this country, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, came into power assuring Zambians that he's going to unite the country. That was his first slogan, to unite the country. And he's doing it, he's uniting the country. So, in a way of uniting the country, you cannot forget about culture. Because culture unites us. Culture brings us together. Without culture, then a country can be dead. The New Dawn government has respect for all cultures. And so your culture is not anywhere smaller, but very important.
Teddy Chimbinde is Western Province Likumbiliamize patron.
The Likumbiliamize Western Province Committee is non-political. It's pure traditional. Our aim is just to promote our culture.
Meanwhile, Western Province Likumbiliamize chairperson Kapalo Muswala has thanked the government for creating an environment for various cultures to thrive in the country.
President, the Republican President, is Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, has created a conducive environment for cultural traditional ceremonies, cultural values to be celebrated without any interference from the government. The Likumbiliamize, like everybody has said, is a multi-cultural diverse group. There are members of us who are Luvales, who are Luchazis, who are Mbundas, who are Tongas, and everybody. So we are not here because of any other thing. It's because of our culture. I think you agree with me that a people without a culture are a people without destination. Because if you love your culture, you know your culture, it's very, very easy for you to know where you are, where you are going, and it helps you to build a nation. Because we say that if you don't know where you don't know about your culture, then you don't know who you are.
Darlington Kavambe reporting in Mangu District, Western Province.
Here is a reminder of the top stories. Reopening of schools extended. Low publicity on CDF by the media worries information peers. Havanyuka residents praise government for road rehabilitation. And government donates maize to Nchwala traditional ceremony. Thank you so much for being with us on behalf of the entire production team. My name is Amos Zulu. Bye for now.